What's up, guys? You guys will know this route. It's a familiar route. We're going to the gym, and it's gonna be nighttime. Can't remember what the camera picks up or doesn't pick up, but so sorry if you don't see a whole lot other than a little bit of light and a bunch of dark around it. But that's all we're doing is going to the gym, so it's not really anything that you guys needed to see visually that you haven't seen a few times already. The thing you can't see is what I'm wearing, and I'm back to my cold jacket already, and I'm gonna have to start wearing this thing underneath my riding jacket because I don't know what the temperature is currently, but like overnight it went from being 70 at nighttime and like 90 plus during the day to now it's like 50 degrees or already down into the 40s at night and 70 degrees during the day. I mean, and when I say it happened overnight, it happened overnight. I went for a race. It was like 70 something the morning I woke up, and 90 something during the day, and where I was racing it was hot. Man, it was hot. And it was only a few hours away from here, and then I was gone for 2 days, and I get back and all of a sudden it's 20 degrees cooler, 20 plus degrees cooler. But beside that, I always seem to start with the weather, but beside that, that same, the morning of, I was going to meet the guys. We were going to get in the vehicle and drive to where we were going to race, and while I was on my way there, I got rear-ended. Kind of a freak situation, not even a normal situation. There was a traffic jam. Well, it's kind of normal. There was a traffic jam. I was just getting to the back side of it, and I was right at an exit, freeway exit. I pulled off onto the shoulder, the left shoulder. I was in the fast lane at the time, and I pulled over to the left shoulder to stop for a second and see if the cars were going to get backed up far enough where I could then actually maybe move backwards just a little bit and then move across the highway, work my way across to take the exit. Well, I mean, about 3 car lengths, so about 3 cars back. They weren't even quite to a complete stop, so I hadn't moved yet. I was just still sitting there, looking backwards, trying to wait to see when people were stopping and how far back they were going to stop, or they would be stopped, to know whether I could move or not. Well, this lady, I don't know what she was doing. Probably texting, but I don't know. Maybe looking at Facebook. I wasn't in the car. I didn't get to read the report of what she wrote, and it really doesn't matter. In the scheme of things, it doesn't matter. It happened. She was not paying attention. She did admit, though, she had not slowed down at all. One bit. Not one bit. She was at full speed, whatever she was going. The speed limit's 70 and she was in the left lane. So I'm going to say she was probably doing 80 or more. Because to be honest, on that road, the speed limit might be 70, but if you're doing 80, it's like you're getting run over. You can't even get out of the way fast enough at 80. It's crazy. But anyway, from like 3 cars back, that's how close, she darted out. And I was looking back, but I see this white car just dart out, and being that close, coming that fast, there was nothing I could do. And she just absolutely tagged me. And I'm lucky because the swerve that she put on to miss the car that was in the lane she was in, the swerve to the shoulder that she put on was a hard enough swerve that she didn't hit me square in the back. She actually got all the way to my left side and hit me in the left rear. I mean, it broke the bumper, and it ripped, I'll put a picture up, it ripped all the suspension off the left rear, everything. All-wheel drive car, I mean, it ripped the CV axle out of the drivetrain, ripped all the suspension off, you know, broke the wheel in a couple pieces, folded everything up under the door, the rear door, set both the driver's side curtain airbags off. I mean, it was big, but I walked away. I was sore for 2 days. Over the weekend, I was sore for 2 days on my the left side of my neck, and in my shoulder blade area where the seatbelt was, like right on top, and then a little bit of the muscle in the back. But really for 2 days, like, I'm fine now. And I had no other injuries, and it was just sore. And I don't think she had any injuries. She's probably sore. Because even after she hit me, she was still going that direction towards the center, and took out some guardrail before she stopped. So you can say what you want, you know, about me being on the shoulder, but the fact of the matter is I was sitting there. I pulled over there at will, but even if I hadn't, what if I hadn't and I was broke down, out of gas, broke down, radiator, engine overheated, something, I don't know, it doesn't matter. I was sitting there still and got rear-ended while on the shoulder. That is stupid. But over the course of a couple days here, it's still not sorted out 100%. Any of you that watch this, when you buy a car, new, used, doesn't matter. When they offer you gap insurance, buy it. Roll it into the loan. It's not that expensive. When you roll it in, it doesn't change your payment hardly at all, but buy it. I didn't even remember if I bought it, and I found out late this afternoon that I did. But I was hassling with the insurance because they put a value, of course they put a value on the car. It's totaled, so they put a value on the car, value on the repairs, and determined that it was too much. There's a ratio they used, and it was too much, they totaled it. Well, the value they put on the car was more than I expected, but less than what I owed. Because when you buy a car, not only are you paying retail, but you are paying taxes, titles, other kind of fees, and doesn't matter. So, yeah. Here I was going. I've got to make a stop in here first. But the bottom line is, I was going to be upside down. And even though her insurance was at fault, and it was kind of a small gap in price, they're not going to cover it. So I found out that I have the gap insurance, and they're going to have that covered. So I'm going to be good, but it's been a hassle trying to get money out of them and get this dealt with. So just know, if they offer you gap insurance, buy it. But so that's the lesson. And that's really the only way, because I'd be screwed. I'm still in the process of finding out really if I'm going to get the car back or not, or who gets the car. Once it's all said and done, I don't even know what happens when it's not said and done and you're just upside down. But even here, as it gets to where it's all done, I'm going to try to find out who gets the car and make a few calls, because I want it back, to try to part it out and make a little money off of it. But I'm going to let you guys know, those of you who have not been in an accident, it's kind of a pain. I don't think it has to be as much of a pain as what it is for me, just because I don't know about it and don't know what's going to happen. And I'm just finding all that out. But for me, it's been a pain because I don't want to be upside down. And it turns out that I'm not gonna be. So it's all good. But the biggest thing I can say about it is to stay in contact with your insurance reps. And mine acted pretty quickly, actually. What are you fools doing? But that's the moral of the story is, she was stupid. It sucks. I'm okay. But when they offer stuff like that, buy it. Because in the long run, it's going to help you. Now, it was a 5-year loan, and if it went 3 years in, or whatever, 4 years in, and then it happened, my loan would almost be paid off, and then it's probably fine. And you're like, oh, I just used all that money buying that thing I didn't need. But if this happens to you, it's good to have. So that's the moral of the story. I'm here. I'm going in. And so buy the insurance. Buy gap insurance, whether it's on a car, motorcycle. I don't even care if it's brand new. Because, I mean, as soon as you stick the key in, start it up, and drive off the lot, no matter what it is, it drops in value. You're going to lose money. If anything happens to it within, I don't know, I'd say the first 25%, whether your loan's 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, 10 years, probably within that first 25% of time, you're going to lose money if something happens to it. But enjoy. Hope you guys get to ride and are having nice weather as always. I'll see you on the next ride.